1 of 4. Next is the Arcane Spheres. So what's so great about the Arcane Sphere? So currently, if you play in the Arcane Sphere, you're looking at 3 epic destinies. You have Draconic Incarnation, where you get a bunch of elemental spells and abilities, Fatesinger, which does something, and Magister, which is something. The reason why I say it's something is because I'm not really sure what these trees are supposed to be doing. Draconic Incarnation is really neat, because inside of it, you're picking up Energy Burst on the side, you're picking up maybe Vortex, but you shouldn't take Energy Vortex. If you are, you should not take Energy Vortex. You're picking up Dragon Breath because that's kind of good, and you're picking up your Energy Sheath and maybe some DCs or something along the way. There's also some maximum cash level for dragons, which is pretty good. Hey, Fulgar Garth Tripper, how you doing? So it's pretty good, and it's clear as to what this tree is about. It's dragon themed. You're supposed to pick a type of dragon to be, and you're supposed to get a whole bunch of damage based on the color of the dragon. So black for acid or white for ice dragons and stuff, which is cool. But then you got to ask, I said, well, what's Fatesinger and Magister for? Well, Fatesinger is supposed to be about like being a bard, but a lot of these things are really not clear as to what they do. The cores are all over the place. Some of them give you health or charisma or stacks of debuffs or what? Unique bonus to damage, like just weird stuff. A lot of the buffs on here are supposed to buff your different spells like Inspire Courage and Inspire Greatness, but they're very small buffs and they're very minor and almost not noticeable. And then you have a bunch of weird spells like Dirge, which does negative damage and sonic damage. What the heck is this? Or like Siren Song, which mesmerizes a target and deals constitution damage. Why? So there's a bunch of weird stuff in this tree that basically don't mean much or do anything, and it's very hard to parse. And you have Magister. Now, Magister should be pretty, make sense. You know, having studied the intricacies of the arcane tirelessly, the Magister has gained an understanding of magic that few mortals ever achieve. Except it gives less DCs than our Exalted Angel. So it's not even good for magic. If you play this, you're wasting your time. You get a bunch of sigils. On the left side, you get a bunch of sigils you can't use. You get a bunch of stuff that doesn't mean anything. And you have bonuses to your spells. But again, you don't care about the bonuses to spells because you get, right here, +3 to the DC of a chosen school. However, it's in the tree, so you can twist it. So you can just twist this into an Exalted Angel and be happier with your life. So what's the deal? Why would you even use this? This is dumb. Well, let's explore. Let's explore what's new. So let's go to the Arcane Sphere, starting with Magister. Holy guacamole! +1 spell DCs to all spell DCs to each core. Well, guess what? There's 6 cores, so that's +6 to the DCs of all your spells for just sitting in Magister. Are you insane? +6 to the DCs of all of your spells? What? Cool. So now, I was saying Exalted Angel is really good because it gives +3. This gives +6. That's like Exalted Angel +3. But then it also still does the extra DCs. That has some crap for Universal Spell Power, which means nothing. Master of Spell School increases your DCs by an extra 3. So Master of Spell School is something that increases the caster level of your spells by up to 3. So say you're playing Evocation, that would give you an extra 3 to your Evocation caster level. Well, now this also gives you 3 DCs. So if you happen to be an Evocation caster and be here, you get +12 to your DCs of your Evocation. That is mind-blowing how powerful that is. +12 to your DCs is 60% increased chance that the monster will take damage from your spell. Huge, 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 huge. And now we got to talk about Arcane Tempest. So Arcane Tempest is crazy because it's a spell that nobody really used. It's at the top of the tree. I'm going to go over it real quick. Arcane Tempest is this thing right here. Arcane Tempest. It costs 2 points and 3-minute cooldown, 30 mana, deals 2d6 force damage every cast level. Actually, every cast level every 2 seconds for 8 seconds. Unlisted reflex save. So this is essentially Acid Rain, but less damage, which is hilarious because Acid Rain's a 4th level spell. So instead, now Arcane Tempest isn't linked, so you can just take it. It costs 1, so you can always take it. You can use all your meta magic feats, which is great. It casts fast as hell and has no saving throw. So now you can just take this all the time because it's cool. Wow, Magister. You know what I'm saying? I love that. Oh, they're being updated. These are the updates that we're talking about. Always works. The second one never works. Yeah, that makes sense. But this one's +6 to all DCs, man. So Magisters are now going to be the kind of thing where, hey, you get to epics and your DCs aren't high enough to be able to do Epic Elite or Reaper or whatever difficulty. Doesn't matter. Go ahead and just play around with your DCs. It's going to be a good time. So this is fantastic. Magister's the gun of the tree where, like I said, if you're missing your DCs, you can still be effective in all content because you can just pick up on it. I don't know anything about dog shirts. Oh, dog shirts? Oh, yeah, dog shirts. Huh. I wouldn't wear one of these shirts. Maybe I'd wear the pug shirt. Because people like pugs. Actually, I kind of like this shirt. Anyway. Specializing in one school is like a Magister thing. I can see why people do it, or why they want people to do that. So next we're going to talk about Draconic Incarnation. So remember I said Draconic Incarnation is all about killing people with magical spells and being dragon related? Well, guess what? There's a buff to it. One of the problems with Draconic Incarnation is that it doesn't give you enough damage to justify actually taking it. You'd rather play an Exalted Angel and then just twist all of the good stuff. Because in Draconic Incarnation, you get Energy Burst. Hey, I can twist that. Max Cash Level. Hey, I can twist that. So why would I play in Draconic Incarnation? Well, the answer is because now it does 1 billion damage. Each core now gives 5% spell crit damage. So now you have 30% spell crit damage, which is hilarious. That's very, very powerful. Now, you can apply all your metamagic feats to go out with a bang. Energy Burst, Energy Vortex, all of the stuff. So all of the damage things can now take all your metamagic feats, so they're now more powerful. Also, they now scale with Conjuration and Evocation as their DCs, which they didn't before. My character is going to have an additional, I think it's like plus 30 to Evocation DCs, and now it actually works. It gives me to my Energy Burst and my Energy Vortex, which is kind of cool, and Dragon Breath, which is exciting. Also, these spells are not considered part of their elements for the purpose of catch level increases other than Savant's catch level increases, which were already working. Which means that if you happen to get your catch level up to 35 or 36 or 37, these count as though you're casting at level 35, 36, or 37. Hilarious. I'm very excited to see people get over 200k crits with Energy Burst. It's going to be ridiculous. Dragon Breath has been changed as well. So now instead of having charges, it just has a 25-second cooldown, which is just like the Dragonborn Dragon Breath. Breath spells are now considered part of their spell school for the purpose of cash level, max cash level increases. And then they have their Evocation Conjuration. Very important to note, anything acid in the tree is Conjuration. Acid spells, acid sorcerers use Conjuration instead of Evocation for their spells, which is why now acid spells are or the acid bursts will all use Conjuration as opposed to Evocation. Black Dragon Breath, of course, Evocation spell. Now, Draconic Fury's cooldown has been reduced to 1 minute. That's kind of... Oh, I missed something. Arcane Spell Surge now is a 1 minute cooldown. We're going to talk about Arcane Spell Surge real quick for Magister. I forgot. So Arcane Spell Surge is this thing right here, this cap, which gives +5 to all DCs for 20 seconds with a minute cooldown. So now, you can actually get +17 to your DCs from this tree for 1/3 of the time, which is hilarious. So really, really good. Back to what we were talking about. So Draconic Incarnation has the Draconic Fury, which is this thing right here. Draconic Fury has a cooldown reduced to 1 minute. I kind of wish they upped the casting time because it takes way too long to cast. But now instead of 4 minutes, it's got 1 minute, which means you're going to use this all the time. You've got Draconic Hunger's temporary HP and SP are now 10 times your epic level. So what does that mean? Well, Draconic Hunger is this thing up here, top tier. When you kill an enemy, there's a 10% chance you'll gain 15 temp HP or a 10% chance for 15 temp SP, and it goes up to 50% during Draconic Fury. Well, now, instead of being 15, it's 10 times your epic level. So it's going to be, presumably, if you're epic level 10, or level 30, it's 100 temporary HP and 100 temporary spell points that goes up to 50%. This is actually going to help out a huge amount with mana sustain on sorcerers and wizards, so very, very good change. And then Fearsome Invulnerability no longer needs to be charged, and it gives you physical and magical resistance rating. I think it's still bad. I don't know if you should take it. It gives you a lot of defensives, but again, I don't know if you should take it. It says HP regens at a very swift rate. I don't know what that means. Also, all these things cost 1 AP, which means you can take them all. You can take Energy Vortex, Hunger, and Fearsome Invulnerability without feeling bad. Bonus! Well, you know how the Dragon Breath out of Draconic Incarnation got changed? Well, Dragonborn got changed too. So now Dragonborns, their racial breath, the Black Dragon Breath, scales with Conjuration. So if you're an Acid Dragonborn, you have to feel bad about having Evocation DCs because it still works. Also, the breath attacks now scale with Spell Power. So they're going to be good. They used to only scale 50% with spell power, so now they're going to effectively deal double damage, which is cool. And Dragonborn's True Power Enhancement adds Conjuration DCs in addition to Evocation. This enhancement was already crazy. It was 3 Evocation DCs for 3 points. Now it's 3 Evocation DCs and 3 Conjuration for 3 points. Wow. Okay, and now we're going to talk about Fatesinger. Fatesinger real quick. It did a bunch of stuff before that wasn't really good, and now it does a bunch of stuff that is good. To quickly go through some of the enhancements here. The chords have been changed a little bit. So now you get each chord gives you melee power, range power, mana, universal spell power, arcane couch levels, bard levels, and bard songs for your casting bard abilities. You get Glitter Fame, +1 to all stats and saves. Harmonic Resonance. Attacks have a chance to build up resonance, increasing their sonic vulnerability and reduce their armor class. Enemies that strike you have a chance to be fascinated. Friendly spellcasts bestow armor class and physical resistance rating, whereas offensive spellcasts affect your harmonic resonance. And Majesty, you are immune to charisma damage, do not suffer from arcane spell failure, and 25 universal spell power. This is actually kind of nutty, because now it means that if you want, you can play a warlock or a tank warlock with full plate and not have to worry about arcane spell failure by just being in Fate Singer, which is very cool. I don't know if that's useful or good, but it's kind of neat. It also means that if you're playing as a bard, you can multi-class fighter, play in Fate Singer, and use heavy armor as long as you're not swashbuckling, which makes it very, very promising for a potential 18 bard, 1 fighter, 1 favored soul type of heavy armor build using War Chanter, which would be kind of cool. So the left side of the tree is the Harmonic Chords. These are all buffs to your bardic music, so makes your Inspire Courage more powerful. As well as giving you a buff. This is insanity because for 3 points, it gives your Inspire Courage +3 to hit and damage, and gives you +3 to hit and damage. 3 points for +6 to hit and damage. This is what do you call it? Legendary Dreadnought tier 5 level good on a tier 1. Hilarious. And then Music of the Spider Queen adds neutralized poison, which is kind of cool. And Dirge, make it work and be good. Harmonic Chord makes it so you now add more skills, and there's a bunch of stuff. Harmonic Chord 3 makes it so now you add Healing Amp and Repair Amp, and you also get more Healing Amp and Repair Amp, which is kind of good. And then there's the hymns. I'm not going to go into detail too much to describe exactly how the hymns work, but basically the hymn is a thing. So before bards or fate singers had a buff they could put on themselves where it's like Echo of Another Destiny, where you got a little bit of a buff. Now that they have hymns, you can share hymns with up to 3 other people, with 4 people. You can cast 4 hymns on 4 people. That's the cap. So you can have like 1 on yourself and then 3 other people, or however you want to divvy it up. And there's different types of hymns that do different things. The Arcane Hymn gives Intelligence, Wisdom, and Charisma, mana, spell pens, UMDs, and other stuff. The Martial Hymn gives Strength, Dex, Wisdom, Sneak Attack Die, Life, Physical, Magical Resistance Rating, Melee, Range Power. So, ooh, wow, that's good. Divine Hymn, Strength, Charisma, Wisdom, Smite Evil, +2 hit and damage, Confirm, Physical Resistance, and Spell Power. And Primal is Wisdom, Dex, Con, Life, Spell Resistance, Healing Amp, Thrown and Bow Attack Speed, and +3 Strength while Raging, which is very cool. They're all pretty good. You also have 4th chord, your Inspire Heroics, increases by armor class, dodge, and saves. So this means that if you get somebody cast a bard song on you, they're going to give you +7 dodge and +7 to all saves, on top of the fact that they're giving you even more saves from their Inspire greatness. So yeah, this is a little nutty. So bards can give you +11 to your saves now if they're doing this. Then you have the 5th chord, tier 5, which gives you a new bard song in your aura, which is Inspire Transcendence. +1 to DCs, Tactics bonus, +3 spell resistance, and True Seeing, and you also get the same things. That means now if you have a bard and Fate Singer with you, they give you +1 DCs and Tactics bonus and True Seeing. Very cool. There's something called Masquerade, which reduces your spell cost reduction. I've been told that this is supposed to stack, but I don't remember if that's true or not. Blade Song, which gives you attack speed, crit multi on a 19 or 20, and some sonic damage on hit that scales with spell power. And you can also pick a free meta magic feat, which is kind of cool, giving you Eschew Materials, Extend, or Enlarge online for free all the time. Enlarge is very good for getting range on your spells. Extend is very good for just extending stuff like haste and displacement. And Eschew, obviously, is for those that don't want to carry stuff in their backpack. And then tier 6, Greater Shout, spell-like ability with a 6-second cooldown. Hilariously powerful. Free meta magic feat, you can get Quicken, Embolden, or Intensify. So either fast spells, +2 to all DCs, or 75 spell power. Very good. And then Turn the Tide, make it work. Neato. Fate Singer seems good. I would consider using Fate Singer on a bard. I would consider using Fate Singer on a not bard. This seems really powerful, especially if you're like a multi-class. If you're somebody who has like 6 levels of bard or something, you could conceivably go in Fate Singer because of how much the Fate Singer adds to your bard abilities. So very, very cool. Looking forward to seeing some more of this coming out. That is Arcane.